With the federal election looming, speaking of cool, an interview with the Prime Minister is highly sought after by journalists right across the country.
So when Melbourne schoolboy and young journalist Leo Puglisi was given the opportunity to interview Scott Morrison, he seized it with both hands and he didn't hold back.
I guess this does come down to a matter of credibility. Crikey, and of course their own outlet.
That's not a good start. If you're starting with crikey and you're talking about credibility, it's not a good start.
But they put together a list of 50 lies and falsehoods from you. Now that's 50. Now I'm not saying I am not judging their journalism. However, a lot of everything that you've said is on the record. The ABC has fact-checked you rather about
the
about
ABC and crikey. Let's add a few more then. I'm sure the Australia Institute is probably going to be the next one, I suspect.
Wow.
Well, for more, let's bring in the founder of online news site 6 News, Leo Puglisi, who is in Melbourne. Leo, mate, can you promise never to interview us at any stage? You're good.
Thank you. I mean, look, I wasn't expecting that kind of reaction from the Prime Minister himself. I think we've gotten pushback in interviews before from guests who don't like the questions. But when it comes from the Prime Minister of Australia, it's certainly a unique experience. And, well, if he doesn't like tough questions, or if any guest we have doesn't like the tough questions we pose, then I think that's on them. That's their problem.
Let's go back to the
Man.
Let's go back to the basics here. I mean, getting the man in the top job is a hell of a task. How'd you lock in the PM?
Yeah, so our political reporter, Roman McKinnon, who also did the interview with me, emailed Scott Morrison's team and Anthony Albanese's team in either late January or very early February. We got a response soon after from Morrison's team. We so far have never gotten a response from Albo's team. But eventually they said they could work something out after the budget. We got a confirmation for Thursday, that being last week, not this week, at about 10 a.m. Roman's on school holidays because he's in Brisbane. I just decided to take school off for the day, and we managed to get the interview. It was about 15 minutes allocated, went just to about 20 minutes, but an incredible experience, and I'm definitely glad we got all the questions we wanted to ask, and we got them answered.
How did that fly with school? Because a note from the PM for wagging is a pretty good excuse.
Yeah, well, I think I'd actually mentioned to a few school teachers that I wouldn't be there. I know I have a after-school debate club meeting that I said, no, can't be there, sorry, interviewing the Prime Minister. And I think a lot of the teachers, they were actually... Yeah, it's a usual experience. But look, the teachers were fine with it. I think many of them were actually watching when it aired on Wednesday night on our YouTube channel. So I don't think they're too upset. I just don't think I'll be doing daily bulletins anytime soon, because I do have a bit of an education I might need.
That's a good point you make there. But look, what did you make of the Prime Minister, and where did your questions come from? Did you guys come up with them? Did you ask other school students, hey, what are the issues that are important to you? What sort of research did you do in that regard?
Well, in terms of the school kids, I mentioned a few by name because they asked for a shout-out, so they got one. But in terms of the questions, that was entirely done by Roman, myself and everyone else on the 6 News team, because we're a team about 10 people now, so fairly small. But we decided we wanted to get the ones that would be the most important after him being Prime Minister for almost about 4 years now. So we wanted to cut through, because we might never speak to him again, let alone as Prime Minister, depending on how the election goes. So we came up with them and we thought they're the really important ones. We cut a bunch, but when it came to the lying and falsehoods, that was supposed to be, and that was the clip you played earlier, 1, maybe 2 questions, including a follow-up. It ended up going for about 5 or 6 because the Prime Minister's answers kept requiring a bit of pushback.
Now, talking about giving strange answers, you managed to interview our own Karl Stefanovic, who was possibly more difficult than the Prime Minister. How did that go?
Yeah, well, in addition to interviewing, we actually co-hosted 6 News together, which was a fairly unique experience. Look, Karl, he was great to have. I think it might have been the first bulletin we had done from home due to the second lockdown in Victoria, so this was a while back. But look, it was definitely interesting, and if either of you want to ever co-host a bulletin, you know, we're always ready for it.
I mean, come on, like Karl, he's rubbish, right? He's no good. He can't do an interview, can he, that bloke?
I could never bash Karl Stefanovic.
Oh.
Now, look,
boys sticking together.
You've offered us the chance to co-host, which is excellent, but I understand we can even give you the chance to co-host the program, put you in the 9 newsroom, and as we do that, I'm going to go back to my look at that. It looks too comfortable.
Yeah. He's going for your job, Crouch.
I'm just updating my resume.
Well, it'll be perfect. I mean,
Until
look, 6 we could go. We could just go straight to 9. So no issues there.
This kid's good.
Not bad.
Leo, well done, mate. And look, you know, it takes a bit of guts to... Oh, on the Today Show. Bring him in here. It takes a bit of guts to ask some of those hard questions that you did. So well done, mate.
Yeah, well done.
Big future.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Great to have you on.